The vote was 6-1, I was the one. Captain Rodriguez couldn't look at me when he read the result. The ship had enough oxygen for 6 people to reach the relay station. Not 7. Somebody had to stay. They could have drawn straws. They could have asked for volunteers. Instead, they voted because voting made it feel democratic instead of what it actually was: murder with a ballot. The airlock closed at 0900. I watched their engine flare shrink to a dot and disappear. Then I sat down on the floor of an empty ship with 41 hours of oxygen and started thinking. My name is Engineer Second Class Maya Torres, 29 years old, crew of the cargo hauler Driftwood. We hit a debris field 4 days ago, lost the main engine, the backup engine, and half the hull in about 11 seconds. Emergency systems kicked in. We had air, water, and power. What we didn't have was propulsion. The relay station was 6 days away at emergency thrust. The shuttle had enough fuel, but life support could sustain 6 people for 6 days, not 7. Someone had to stay on the Driftwood and hope that rescue arrived before the air ran out. The nearest patrol was 8 days out. I voted for myself to stay, not because I'm brave, because I'm an engineer and I knew something the rest didn't. The Driftwood wasn't dead. She was hurt, bad, but I'd been crawling through her guts for 3 years and I knew every system, every bypass, every shortcut. The others saw a crippled ship. I saw 41 hours of oxygen and a reactor still producing power. Power means options. The first thing I did after the shuttle left was cry. I sat on the floor and cried for about 20 minutes. Then I washed my face, opened my toolkit, and went to work. Crying is fine. Crying while working is better. Hour 6. I sealed every compartment I wasn't using. Cut my oxygen consumption by 60%. That bought another day. Hour 12. I ripped CO2 scrubbers from unused compartments and daisy-chained them into engineering. Hour 18. I found something. Emergency beacon drones. Small, unmanned, designed to fly to the nearest relay. 2 destroyed. 1 intact but unpowered. It needed a battery. I looked at the emergency lighting system. The emergency lighting system looked back at me. I sat in the dark for a while after I pulled the batteries, but the drone was charged. Hour 24. The drone launched. I watched it disappear through the cargo bay doors and felt hope. Stupid, irrational hope. Hour 30. I started on the real project. The Driftwood had no main engine, but she had maneuvering thrusters. 48 small thrusters designed for docking rotation. Not designed for propulsion. But if you fire all 48 in the same direction, you get thrust. Not much. Walking speed in space. But walking speed is still movement, and movement is still hope. Hour 36. 5 hours of oxygen left. The thrusters had moved me less than half a kilometer. Nothing in space terms, everything in human terms. I was moving. I was choosing a direction. Hour 39. 2 hours of air. I started getting lightheaded. I reduced my breathing, sat still, conserved everything. I wrote messages. 1 for my mother. 1 for Captain Rodriguez telling him I didn't blame him. I did blame him, but I wrote that I didn't because what's the point of dying angry? Hour 40. 1 hour of air. The comm system crackled. I almost didn't hear it because I'd pulled power from most systems, but I'd left the receiver on because I am an optimist. The voice said, "Driftwood, this is Patrol Vessel Constance. We received your beacon drone. Hold tight. We are 19 minutes out." 19 minutes. I had 60 minutes of air, 41 minutes of margin. I sat on the floor and laughed. The rescue team found me surrounded by the gutted remains of 6 different systems I'd torn apart to stay alive. The team leader said, "What happened to the ship?" I said, "I happened to the ship. They promoted me after the inquiry." Turns out the drone I launched reached the relay 12 minutes before my shuttle crew arrived at the station. My rescue signal saved me faster than their slow boat saved them. Captain Rodriguez sent me a message. It said, "Next time we'll draw straws." I sent one back. It said, "Next time, vote for someone who isn't an engineer."